Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town of Limington Select Board meeting for October 10th, 2024. We're going to call the meeting to order at 7:02 p.m., and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we will need approval of the meeting minutes for October 3rd, 2024.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor. Motion carries. Approval of the warrants for week number 41. Payroll warrant number 94 in the amount of $31,927.95. And appropriations warrant number 95 in the amount of $77,186.97. Totals for both those warrants is $109,114.92. Recurring bills, Bureau Motor Vehicles, $4,882.12. CMP for the streetlights, $598.03. Charter Communications, that's our internet, $323.34. Consolidated Communications, phone lines, $42.86. David Lonsby, our ACO mileage, $289.44. EcoMaine Trash and Recycling, $13,711.13. UniFirst Public Works Towels and Uniform Service, $3,284.96. FirstNet AT&T, $490.69. Judy Fullerton Cleaning Service, $680. Madison Moody Mileage, $331.65. Maine Municipal Employees Health Trust, FICA Tax, $229.66. Treasurer State of Maine Dispatch Fees, $5,417.25. York County Registration, is that right?
Registry of Deeds.
Registry of Deeds, thank you. Lien discharges, $19. Sleepers Supermarket Fuel for the Public Works and Fire and EMS Department, $689.73. That's Sleepers for fuel. That's
The Wex cards were down.
the Wex cards were down. Correct. All right. So that were the recurring bills for warrants 95. I await a motion.
I make a motion to approve warrants 94 and appropriations warrant 95.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor. Motion carries. Purchase order requests. Tammy, would you like to read those for us?
Sure. Fire and EMS purchase order requests. A request to pay cleaning specialists of New England, Ply Movement Vent System, $42,800 paid from the capital improvement funds, and a request to pay Positive Promotions for drawstring backpacks and water bottles, $1,217.96.
I'll make a motion to approve the fire and EMS purchase order requests.
I second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor. Motion carries.
Public Works purchase order request. A request to pay O'Connor Mac for CV modulator valve assembly, $705.41. A request to pay Keyser Falls Napa for bearing, $49.42. A request to pay Keyser Falls Napa for back-ordered parts for loader, $140.39. A request to pay LP Murray & Son for gravel, $720.
I'll make a motion to approve the Public Works Department purchase order requests.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor. Motion carries.
Davis Memorial Library, a request to pay Amazon for books, $38.93. And a request to pay Library World, Inc. for annual subscription, $525.
I'll make a motion to approve the Davis Memorial Library purchase order requests.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor. Motion carries. Thank you, Tammy. Select Board weekly activities and department activities. Today we reached out to MMA regarding the change of of our government plan from Select Board Town Meeting to Select Board Town Manager Town Meeting plan. They're going to help us go through the process of getting a job description for that manager ready and for helping us to find the right candidate. There is going to be no select board meeting next week. The prior obligations for the select board has led us to cancel this. Fire department, the chief's here, so I'll let him go talk about that. Financial Advisory Committee, they're going to be meeting with the Parks and Rec director tonight to go over his budget proposal. Stay tuned for that. What else do we have? The board would like to send out a special thanks to Callista Cross and Ed Comio for a memorial bridge naming commemorative plaque. If you can see, it's behind Tammy right there. Callista Cross, a concerned resident, she came into the select board office a couple of months ago with intentions of having the bridge down on Route 11, thank you, Tammy, having that renamed the Veterans Memorial Bridge, which the select board was more than happy to
Designate that.
Thank you, Tammy. The words are escaping me today for some reason. So the bridge is being renamed the Veteran Memorial Bridge, and Ed Comio had made up this plaque for us, which the Parks and Rec director is kind enough to allow us to display it at the Old Town Hall. So thank you, everyone. It's real nice to have the community coming together to make changes around the area.
Actually, the signs are still covered with black plastic, I believe. We didn't know if there was going to be an unveiling of them or not. Callista wasn't quite sure. I guess towns are doing it on their own, from the sounds of it. At first, I thought there would be some type of, not really a
She was under the
celebration
impression,
of it,
yeah.
but
Right.
just something.
Yeah, dedication.
Dedication
Yeah,
or
so,
whatever.
a kind of service. Yeah.
So I don't know exactly how or when we'll take the black plastic off so that people can see the sign that says Limington Veterans Memorial Bridge. More to be determined, I suppose.
Stay tuned for more
I
details.
thought maybe when she came in tonight that there would be some, clarity on that, but there wasn't. So I guess it's up to us.
For thank you, Tammy. For department updates, who wants to do what? Jason, what do you got for us?
Let's start with, code enforcement. One new permit this week, for a fee of $315. Year to date, it's 315 permits and a total of $122,862.91 taken in. Craig has been on 13 inspections this week. He attended both Planning Board and the Board of Appeals meetings as well. Quotes for all the work required to convert the old bathroom into office space were handed in last week. That's it from code enforcement. Do fire and EMS. Week ending October 5th. Number of calls for the service that week was 12. Month to date, 11. Year to date, 593. There was 2 fire calls and 10 EMS calls. Schedule status, all shifts were fully staffed. October's schedule is full. Trainings in-house, there were no trainings this week. However, next week they will have a meeting and a detail to prepare for the upcoming open house, which is this week. It's this weekend. Maintenance, the facility installed the ventilation system. Cardinal Electric will be coming in, I believe, tomorrow to wire it up fully. So we'll have that up and operational shortly. The roof at Coventry has been leaking around the chimney. They have sealed the edges in the recent past, but it seems to be leaking again. Department of Public Works is aware. The one thing they will help is adding a chimney cap. Currently, there isn't one. allowing rain to come down and leak in the base of the floor. Let me see here, no mechanical issues. Scheduled annual pump testing was for today. We will take they took all the trucks to Momodeo and test each truck's pump to ensure the pressure rating capacity. And I'm assuming every one of them passed. Good, thank you, Emo. And that would be, on special notes, month to date, they're one call ahead of last October, and they're currently 39 calls ahead of last year. So, this coming week is Fire Prevention Week. They went to HB Emory on Wednesday and morning to meet with the students and talk about fire safety and prevention. They were asked to create and practice a home escape plan and return to the fire station this Saturday with the plan. They then will be entered to win prizes. Saturday, the department will be holding an open house at the station. This open house is to all the public, not just kids. I believe it's 11 to 3. And they have some nice, prizes to give away to the kids. I got to unload them last night, so it's pretty neat. So that would be it from Fire and EMS.
We don't have a Parks and Recs weekly update, but the director is here. I don't suppose he'd want to get on camera and give us a little update.
He's presenting tonight, so
He is
he
presenting
gets a
his budget
week
tonight.
off.
I would just say that we have the trunk or treat coming up on October 26th from 3 to 5. If you'd like to sign up and do a trunk, please reach out to me, m.moody@limingtonmaine.gov, or you can give me a call at 239-9290. We have 2 weeks of soccer left, our soccer season. We've got 11 teams playing this season. Yeah, my update for the week.
You have openings still in before and after care?
Oh, yes, we do have openings in before and after care. Again, you can reach right out to me to register for that or stop into the municipal office.
And is it this Friday that you have the,
Yes, tomorrow it's a teacher in-service day tomorrow, so we're taking our kids that are signed up to Dole's Orchard right here in Limington to go apple picking and have pizza.
Nice.
I tried to remember everything because I just read it last week and I'm writing down the dates. Like, trying to remember what I said because I usually bring that with me and I do. So.
Yep,
Thank
and
you
then
for coming up.
lastly, I'll just say the basketball registration will be opening up next week for the winter season for kindergarten through 6th grade.
And practice will be at HB Emory?
Practices will be at HB Emory, yes.
Is that boys and girls?
Boys and girls? Yep.
Awesome.
You have volunteer coaches?
Yes, we do have volunteer coaches.
Don't look at me. I'm a coach for track and for soccer. I need a break for the winter season.
Are you
so much,
accepting
Travis.
any team, what do they call that there?
Sponsorships.
Sponsorships.
We're always accepting.
Okay, I just
team
want, yeah.
sponsorships. Yep. We should have at least 5 basketball teams between the different ages.
Okay.
Wow.
So anybody
Do
in
you
the
know what
community that's
sponsorship would
interested.
cost for t-shirts?
$250.
Oh,
$250.
$250 for a
Yep.
sponsorship?
that's not bad. Good. Maybe some of the businesses
That's great to
in
know
town
that
would
is-
like to jump on board, so.
Yes.
Yeah, he knows. I'm all for it.
Thank you, Madison. From the Public Works Department, Allstate Paving is working along Hardscrabble Road. They needed to grind joints on the driveways and the bridge. They will be grinding the joints and sweeping. They plan to take about 2 days on Hardscrabble and continue next week with the remaining roads. The director has been in contact with MS86 to let them know of the plans, and they should have no long delays as they will keep a lane open with traffic control. Allstate has been pushing to keep on schedule as they are having trouble with the help as well. The department has repaired the end of Staples Road where buses and trucks turn around. Staples turns to gravel and had a 2-foot drop, making it difficult to turn around. Shaving Hill is completed and they were able to build safer shoulders along the steep grades. They have also used the forestry head to clear intersections and any brush causing traffic problems. River Road, Section 3, had several low-hanging limbs removed and several trees removed for traffic, buses, and paving crews. Ward's Pond had a few areas with fallen trees removed and chipped up. They have repaired or replaced a few more road signs. EMS sleeping quarters had a leaky roof, and the siding was also leaking, so the rubber roof has been repaired, and the metal siding and flashing, and it should get them by until a more permanent fix can be made. The rescue department needs some help with demo and removing old supply cabinets for medical supplies, so the department helped remove and dispose all the lumber and materials, then helped install the new cabinet system for them to restock, which looks amazing, and I must say, very nice to see. Rescue 1 was unable to have the new exhaust evac system adapter installed as the tailpipe was too short. I'm sure email can go into a little bit more detail with that. So the pipe has been modified to allow the evac system to be installed and used properly. Engine 6 had lost the tailpipe during a run and was requested to be repaired. Engine 6 exhaust was repaired with new pipes and hangers, allowing evac system to be installed properly. Chassis was greased and checked before it was sent back to service. Rescue was also checked and had small repairs as well. A couple lights, mirror mounts, door latches, switches, adjusted, tested, lubricated. Excavator lost high pressure hose during a small job, but has since been repaired. A little note from the director. The transfer station had a 5-gallon bucket of oil left next to the compactor, and that created a spill. The oil was removed, and it was cleaned up, and the asphalt was cleaned, and all of that was disposed properly. He wants to remind everybody, as we do at every meeting, that the transfer station does not accept used oil or any hazardous materials. Many auto shops in our area will accept clean oil to use in their waste furnaces. So if you do have some used oil you need to get rid of, reach out to some of those shops. They should be able to accommodate you. And in a lot of cases, they're supposed to accommodate you. And that's about it from the Public Works Department. All right. Anything else from the Select Board for activities?
Just one
Yeah.
thing that was in this month's Maine Town and City, the magazine from the Maine Municipal Association that we all get. They did have something in there, I ripped it out, was gonna read it, but Patty brought in her book, so that's for a different reason. So she had an article she wanted us to see on town managers, right, and the process and how easy or hard it is to find a town manager. But so flipping through it, I'm like, oh, that's right, I had ripped this out. So the Maine Municipal Association got together, you know, they get together once a year anyway and have that big thing, and they're really big on volunteerism and recognizing the volunteers in town. And I don't think that we recognize them quite as often as we should. And there are many different facets of volunteerism here. But just for this month, the Maine Municipal Association leadership has bestowed the first ever Municipal Officials Appreciation Month for October. And this is proclaimed that the Maine Municipal Association designates October 2024 as Maine Municipal Clerk and Ballot Clerk Appreciation Month. So want to be able to recognize the clerks and ballot clerks that serve our town, hoping that they come out with other volunteerism designations throughout the year, because there are many. There are many committees in town that volunteer people serve on, and so we have people at the town transfer station that tidy up the take it shop all the time. There's just a myriad of people who come forth and volunteer here in this town. So even though this is proclaimed in October for these two specific clerk positions, Municipal Clerks and Ballot Clerks Appreciation Month. Just want to make sure that everybody is recognized as well for that. So my hat's off to everybody who comes forward and offers all of their specific gifts to the town in one way or another. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Tammy. If there's nothing else from the select board, let's move on into the informational bulletin. Jason, would you mind reading that for us?
Sure. Select Board office hours are Thursdays, 2 to 8 p.m. On-air meetings time is Thursdays at 7 p.m. Transfer station hours are Saturdays and Sundays, 9 to 4, and Wednesdays, 12 to 4. A transfer station sticker must be attached to your vehicle's windshield for disposal of all items. Transfer station stickers are available at the town office for $20. No sticker is required to use the swap shop. Transfer station does not accept brush, yard clippings, or hazardous waste. Riverside Recycling in Portland takes hazardous waste. General Assistance Office hours are Wednesdays, 12:30 to 2:30. Applications are available from Town Clerk's office during their normal business hours. Applications must be filled out and accompanying with supporting documentation and must be signed. Planning Board meetings at the Municipal Complex, the first and third Monday evenings at 7. Parks and Rec Cards and Coffee is held at the Old Town Hall building every Wednesday from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Come meet some new folks, play some games. If you have any questions or suggestions, please reach out to Madison Moody, our Recreation Director, at m.moody@limingtonmaine.gov.
Thank you, Jason.
Sure.
At this moment, we will open the meeting to the public. If anyone would like to speak, make comment, please approach the mic and give us your name for the record.
Hi, Laura Sullivan. I just wanted to add upon the open house for the fire department this Saturday. So it is 11 to 3. Aside from all the prizes that we have going on, we have lots of other things going on. We have different raffles going on. We're going to have apple bobbing for the kids. We're going to have target practice so that the kids can use some of the water apparatus. And we have free blood pressure checks for any of the adults. Everybody's going to be able to walk through, get to see the station. And we have the really cool exhaust system that's out there now, so that's kind of neat. Kids are going to get a chance to try on some gear and see how that works, and go through the trucks and see the ambulance. So it's kind of not just for the kids, even though it is safety week, it's for the adults too. So we're hoping everybody will spread the word, tell everybody about it, and come on down. It's our first one, so we're hoping that it's going to be a good turnout, and we're going to build upon this in years to come and keep it going on.
Is there a bounce house?
There is yes, thank you. There is a bounce house that's going to be out there.
Had to unload it.
We'll also have Jetty's food truck will be out here as well, so we'll have that, and we'll have popcorn and some cider and water and all sorts of fun things going on. So hopefully it'll be a good turnout. So we're looking forward to it.
And make sure that little Johnny is in back of the fire engine when a call comes in.
Yeah, we'll do the check. So it'll be really cool. A couple of prizes that we have. The kids are really excited. I was there on Wednesday when we went down to the school. You won't see me in photos. You'll see me in another facet, if you will. But the kids are really excited because a couple of prizes that's going on is they're going to be able to win a ride to school in a fire truck if their name is on. So they thought that was the greatest thing in the world. And everybody's excited. We have some bikes and different things. So, and we also have some family prizes, so not just geared towards just the kids.
Good.
So.
Excellent.
I gotta ask, the ride in the fire truck, is the child allowed to bring along some friends? Is this a carpool or is it just one?
No, we're narrowing it down to a parent.
Okay.
To keep it so that if they want, because one of the kids did ask, can my mom or dad come? So yes, they can bring their parent with them. So we're only obviously in the fire apparatus allotted so many seats for safety. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's cool.
So hope to see everybody there.
Thank you very much. Anything else from the public? If there's nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. All in favor? We are adjourned at 7:27 p.m. Thank you, everybody. Stay tuned for the Financial Advisory Committee.
at 7:31. And just briefly, no, we don't have minutes to approve, so good to go. You're on, Madison.
All right. So I'm going to go over some of this in broad strokes here at the beginning. Looking
You guys have
Looking at just the recreation budget right now, I'm looking for an overall increase of $57,345. 47,000 of that makes up wages, insurance, family medical leave, FICA, and retirement.
So, just Madison, sorry.
Yep.
Where's the 57? I just want to track with you. Where's the
Um,
$57,000 number?
Under department request,
top line.
Yep.
actual
Oh, there it is.
325,206, yeah.
Thank you.
Are
So,
those the highlighted lines?
It's under green,
difference, yeah.
different.
Okay.
Yep. Because the biggest thing I'm adding or looking to add is another full-time person for the department. The position would kind of upgrade my child care coordinator position that I currently have to an average of 33 hours a week all year long. Really what that would break down to is 45 weeks at 32 hours for the majority of the school year, and then for summer camp, it would be 7 weeks at 40 hours. And that position would have benefits. So again, the majority of the increase I'm looking for under recreation is to accommodate that position and the insurance benefits, FICA, retirement, and health insurance for that position.
So, is it $24,000? That's what the comp is for that position? That's the difference in the payroll?
Yeah, some of it's already was in my wages, because like I said, I'm kind of
So you're
adding on
increased-
to a position that I already have.
Okay.
That still accounts for the COLA increase. I've budgeted more money for our bus driver during summer camp. We've been really lucky with that the past 2 years, and we haven't had to pay what some other towns are paying their driver. We've been at $21 an hour for that the past 2 years. Most of those drivers are starting at $27 an hour for the school district, and some of the other towns are paying close to that for their driver during the summer. And there's a little more in wages also, just because I'm expecting to have some other programs starting, and I'd need additional staff for other after-school programs. And then moving down from there, I do have all the lines that are highlighted in yellow would be new accounts for this upcoming budget. I do have fuel and vehicle maintenance in there, because in my capital improvement plan, you'll see that I do have a department vehicle, a work truck I'd like to purchase. So those two lines are for that capital improvement purchase. Everything else is just field trip funds have gone up some, just because our mileage costs. For summer camp, we lease a bus through Bonnie Eagle. We pay the mileage and for the fuel, and then we hire one of their drivers and pay them directly. But the mileage cost for our bus this past summer was 85 cents a mile. Next summer, it's going to be $1.10 a mile. So that's going up.
So on the vehicle maintenance,
Yep.
that's the new vehicle for 5,000?
No.
What's that?
I've got 20. I'm jumping around here, but
Okay.
in my capital improvement plan, a couple pages further on, I have $25,000 in there to purchase a vehicle, and that would be
It's on this one here.
But what is that vehicle for?
so I'd like to get a truck. I think we're moving stuff all the time between the school, the fields, the old town hall, It's just constant moving stuff.
So just a truck for around town?
Yeah, and it'd be nice if we could put a plow on that as well.
So I'm just gonna probably ask the obvious question.
Yep.
How does your department interact with Public Works and what they have for vehicles and plows and stuff like that?
So I mean, it's not just for plowing.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good addition. I'm jumping around quite a bit here.
Well, we can go back and
Another
watch it.
role I've taken on is the shelter manager for our cooling and warming, sheltering needs in here in town. So just being able to know that we can plow that driveway if we have a shelter up at the Old Town Hall, because that's what we're looking to do.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay, so that's not on Public Works's
They
docket.
typically plow the Old Town Hall.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so. It's a town property.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not town property, though. It's the neighbor's property.
The park,
yes.
the parking lot itself.
Yes, yes,
The town leases the parking.
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'll talk about the truck more when we get to capital improvement.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Looking down just recreation, were there any other questions about some of those lines before I jump to the Old Town Hall?
So the increase in the benefits lines, that's related to the expanded hours, right? That's not just for existing staff.
That's for an additional full-time staff member, because I'm the only one right now.
Okay.
Madison, you said you're looking to begin some new programs with this new employee?
Well, right now, so the current position, the child care coordinator, helps me run our before and after
Yeah.
care program. And then wasn't planning on it, but that same person was willing to work summer camp as well, which worked out great. She ran we had 2 groups this summer. We had a kindergarten through 3rd grade group based out of HB Emory.
Right.
She ran that group, which a lot of those kids had been in our aftercare program all school year, so that worked out great. And then our typical group we have at Moy-Medeo was 4th through 8th grade.
Yeah.
So we had two groups of kids this past summer.
So are you anticipating that person wouldn't be available next year unless there's a full-time role? Is that why?
No. No, I think they'd be available. But I
Okay.
think with how much the before and after care program is growing, and then me having the time to do anything other than before and after care, I think that position has become very valuable,
Gotcha.
which will make more sense when we go to my revenue pages.
All right.
Yeah.
And then I just had a question about the software contract. Looks like this is new. Is it?
Yes, so
What's that do?
So we've purchased MyRec, which is it's a whole system, I guess. We're gonna have a new website that will be, people will be able to register and pay online, which is the biggest benefit. But also I can track revenue for individual programs a lot more efficiently. I can do group messaging by the program for people that are registered. It helps create rosters, so I'm not making Excel sheet after Excel sheet for rosters. It does a lot of different things.
Okay.
I can also do online reservations for the pavilion at Moy-Medeo, the Old Town Hall, and again, they can pay and do the deposit rate online as well.
Okay.
You can actually check out the website. The website is live. It's limingtonrec.com. I'm just not taking payments yet. I'm still working on that piece of it. It also has places on the website. I can have pictures of our facilities around town, descriptions,
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
And do you maintain that, or is there a license fee of $3,700 per year, or is that just a one-time?
$3,700 per year. Yeah,
And then who maintains the website? You?
me. Yeah.
And just, you said you're not taking payments yet. Is that because you're sort of working through security process?
Just
to make
behind
sure?
the scenes setup for
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, connecting that to the town accounts so money goes where it needs to go.
Gotcha.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for the families signing up for programs too, I mean, they can track everything they're signed up for in terms of childcare, like our before and after care program. Right now, at the end of the year, I have to make a tax form for every individual family for what they've paid all year. They'll be able to get that immediately by using this program.
Just curious, like, how many, I just don't have any perspective. How many people are in your programs? Like, how many families or how many kids or?
I don't have a definitive number. I mean, this summer, it's 6 weeks summer camp.
Yeah.
We had about 90 to 95 kids a week. I think I had 130 different kids registered throughout the summer. Some families choose certain weeks, some families sign up for all 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Soccer right now, we have 92 kids playing soccer. Last season, I think we had 63 kids playing. So we have 11 teams this season. That's grown quite a bit.
Wow.
And then
You're lucky
before and
to have a
after
couple.
care, I have 38 kids in that program right now.
What's the capacity?
Where is it?
It's based out of HB Emory. We're in the gym at HB Emory.
Okay.
Probably 50. I don't
Okay.
know if I do more than 50 kids.
Yeah,
And a piece of that is staffing as well.
sure.
Yeah.
But space, the majority being space.
Mhm.
So if you flip that page over,
Yeah.
we've got the Old Town Hall next. No major changes there. I had a couple of accounts, like office supplies, I did have in recreation and in the Old Town Hall. That's just in the Old Town Hall now. Advertising as well, I had that in recreation and in the Old Town Hall. It's just in the Old Town Hall now. Let's see. Phones, internet, and cameras did go up slightly. The number I had in there last year, not that we had the cameras, we've only had the cameras a little over a month now. That number was just based on the fee for the cameras. It didn't include the phone, which I still don't have. And then I didn't change the way the budget got presented last year in the town report. There was $3,000 in heating oil and $3,000 in heating propane. The Old Town Hall is just propane.
Okay.
So that's why there's no money in oil now.
Yep.
It's all in propane, and I didn't change it, but I think we'll be using way less than $6,000 worth of propane.
Well,
We just used $2,123 so far this year, and that's with using the AC system over there as well.
so the budget is 6,000? Actual, like, I'm confused on the actual 6,000?
Yes.
That's the actual budgeted? Is that what-
Yeah.
Is that,
Yeah.
so is it, so for next year, it's gonna be 3,000 then? For next year? No?
No, it's gone up
I don't know.
3,000.
it's gone up 3,000.
He's budgeting 3,000 more.
He's
I'm
combining heating oil
I'm
and propane.
combining heating oil and propane, because that was
Yeah.
broken up. It was supposed to be 6,000 in propane last year. It got broken up into two different accounts.
Oh,
So the actual
you-
spend is $2,000 for propane.
Yeah,
Okay.
so far this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, so probably not gonna be much more than 3 anyway.
right. So next year, I mean, that could probably go down.
Yeah.
I just know, it seems like, what we talked about at the town meeting, seems like all of our budgets are way over what the actual is spent. And I don't know if that's what the town has to do to put back money into the account for, reimbursing ourselves for next year. Because I know we have to carry ourselves January through March, or whatever.
Yeah. So I mean,
But it
this,
seems like all the
this is
budgets
just,
seem really
this is
high.
the first year we've had propane up there, though. So this is the first full year.
Yeah. But you'll know by the end of the year,
Where we're.
because it started in
where we're
January,
looking. Yeah,
so you'll
Yeah.
know you'll feel pretty comfortable that we're at 3,000 or 4,000
Right,
at the end of December, assuming all the prices are the same.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I think, so similarly, for example, like cleaning was really low this year. Building upkeep and cleaning was $370, but we're budgeting $1,500. Or phones and internet and camera, I know you said that that's only about a month. Do we know, is it really gonna hit $4,000 for phone and internet?
No,
Okay,
I don't know that one for sure, because I don't know what, the phone wasn't included in what I had budgeted last year, so I'm not sure what the price of that is gonna be quite
Okay.
yet.
got it.
And then for the cleaning and the upkeep, I tried to have somebody come in and clean all year, but that did not happen, so I've been cleaning over there. Till about 2 weeks ago when Judy took over cleaning some of the town buildings, so that should, yeah, I would have liked to spend more on that.
Should be good now.
All right, so I should have mentioned this at the beginning. So the format I got this budget in, that all the department heads are putting it in, all my departments are lumped into leisure services.
Yep,
So I do have Davis Memorial in there.
yep.
I wouldn't, those aren't concrete numbers. I just wanted to have an idea of what leisure services was looking like overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're scheduled to be here, yeah, November 7th.
Yeah, Bev had given me numbers 2 weeks ago for what she had so far, but I'm sure those have changed a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, and then the next page, looking at Moimadeo, the overall increase I'm looking for there is $6,119. Again, the payroll being the majority of that. The way Moimadeo is set up right now, our RV host, in addition to living there and overseeing the beach and seeing what's going on at night, is supposed to be working 5 days a week as well. I think it's going to be really hard to convince someone to do this the next time I have to find an RV host. So I've lessened the RV host stipend with the intention of having more money for hourly staff. Just so that RV host is just, we're going to pay you a stipend to live here, to watch the beach,
Yeah.
mostly at night to see what's going on. They're not necessarily expected to work. If you're working the beach, you're a paid hourly employee.
So you're saying the 5,000 is hard, it's gonna be hard to get somebody
I think for 5,000
to work?
to work, which usually ends up being more than 5 days.
But you don't wanna up that amount for the same duty. Is that true? You'd rather have,
Increasing the RV host stipend to have them work,
yeah, to do their normal duties.
I don't.
So it's just a camping spot with some security
Yeah,
role.
right, right.
Well, I guess they're still gonna get a $3,000 stipend.
Yeah, no, they're still getting a stipend, but it's not gonna be $5,000.
Got it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So you're basically just, yeah, you're reducing that stipend and shifting it to payroll.
Yes. I think in the future, it could be an issue. If we're just relying on the RV host
Yeah.
for 5 days of the week and they're living there, if any issues come up, we're out that money if that person chose to leave. And then we have less in payroll to pay hourly staff to cover the beach.
Got it. Okay.
So you think someone would want to stay there and not have to do anything? Because then they can just
I
leave.
think that is
Leave
gonna be
daily.
much easier to find than, hey, can you stay here and work 5 days a week and manage everything?
Right, okay.
I shifted around some money in repairs, maintenance, and ground maintenance. And then for sanitation as well, we ended up getting the holding tank down there at the beach emptied 3 times this summer. At a little over $1,000 a pop. So
Holding tank for,
the new pavilion bathrooms.
Hot summer, lots
that's-
of people there.
Yes, it was a busy summer.
so that's a big septic tank.
Yeah, I think it's 3,500 gallons.
Was it, but it's got a leach field, so,
No, it does not have a leach field. Just a holding tank.
no, it's got a leach field. I designed a leach field for it,
In front of the bathrooms? By the pavilion?
but that's not for the pavilion. The pavilion goes to the tank over by the horseshoe pits.
Yes, no, that's the tank I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's got a leach field.
Really?
You shouldn't have to pump that tank unless you went in it, and determined it was 3 feet of, scum. Yeah, that is not that has a septic field. I can send you the
back-
design.
Okay.
Yeah, it's under
It's
the,
backed up into the bathrooms a couple times now. And then we can't
well,
flush
then there's
anything.
another problem. Maybe the tank, the tank is,
Where
I
is
think
the
it had a
leach
wooden
field?
baffle. Tank's really old. It's cast in place.
Where's the leach field? Do you remember?
It's where the same place as the old one was. I don't think we added on to it. I think we put a new one in, but it's off under the horseshoe pit area, or maybe just uphill of it. I can send you the design.
Okay.
We either added on to it or replaced it. We might have added on to it, but I can get the design tomorrow. Yeah, the guy that lives on the road,
Joe Brown?
Joe, he built it, yep. Because he built the pavilion too. I was there for, we uncovered the tank, I was there, and then we staked out a leach field, and if he didn't build it, there's a problem, but we should you can probably check with the code office and
Okay.
confirm that they did an inspection on it. It would have been, what, Norm, or, it was a few years ago now. But yeah, that's got a leach field. It should have an inspection. Either way, it has leach field, the old one or the new one.
Okay.
So the tank is original. I think I'm pretty sure it has wooden baffles. I probably have a picture on my phone. So there could be a problem with the tank.
It does have wooden baffles. I can confirm that from last year when we popped the top.
So is the tank full, meaning above the pipe outlet?
Yes.
So there's something going on.
All 3 times.
Did you see a pipe outlet? Did you pull the outlet cover? You know what I mean? So there's an inlet cover and then 3 inches, let's say 3 inches lower is the outlet.
I did not see an outlet.
So you'd have to pull the other tank. I mean, the other cover. Yeah, I mean, someone could run, I have a camera, we could run a camera through to make sure it got installed, but
Okay.
hopefully it's in the records with the town.
All right.
But you should not have to pump that tank every year, that's for sure.
Okay.
So if you are, then we need to get it fixed,
Okay.
because that's a lot of money. Is it 1,000 each time?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Okay.
Even, because the pavilion isn't that, can't be that, because, I designed it for 600 gallons or 800 gallons. It can't be that crazy.
Bathrooms get used quite a bit.
Yeah, I can send you the design and we'll take a look at it.
Okay. It'd be that'd be great.
It's not
if
a
we
holding
didn't have
tank.
to pump it 3 times.
It's never been a
I'll tell
holding
you that.
tank.
Okay.
So that was set up, 3,500 gallons. That tank's huge. That's way bigger than even if I designed 1,000, you only need 150% capacity. So you only need 1,500. That's 3,500. That should last you several years. But that's always been a septic tank and leach field for the girls' camp,
Okay.
which closed in 2000, I think. Or 90?
70s. It closed in the 70s.
Yeah, 70s. So yeah, 2000 something was 100 years old. Yeah, so that's always been there, and the host is tied into it.
Okay.
So it's been used for 20 years now, 15 years now, but, yeah. Anyway, we can discuss.
All right.
Yeah, don't pump that out again before we go down there and do an inspection.
Okay.
If that costs you $3,000, yeah, that's a big waste.
Yep.
So I just have a question about phones and internet and cameras, because I saw it's on Old Town Hall and then it's on here. Was there a decision made that we needed to put those in? Is that why it's new? Is that?
Yeah, we have 2 cameras down at the beach now.
Okay,
Yeah. One overlooking the new pavilion and then one right at the gatehouse.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, you can't have a holding tank too, by the way. It's not allowed anymore. Not legal.
Okay.
So, not when you have 35 acres of good sand. Well, glad I'm here.
Yeah. Saving us money.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Although
That's
we
the
may
problem.
need $3,000 this year to fix it.
Right.
So I wouldn't take it out of the budget.
I hope it's not more than that.
Yeah, Joe Brown definitely gave a budget to install the new expansion or whatever. It might have been an expansion. So that should have been installed and it should have been hooked up, and I'm pretty sure I saw the new PVC pipe hooked up, at least from the tank out. I don't know about the leach field. I'll have to see if I have any photos.
Okay.
Moving on,
Oh,
huh?
man. All right.
Horn Pond?
Welcome to Limington.
That's pretty straightforward.
Changes in the guard. Just keeps.
Yes, no change with the Horn Pond boat launch money. And then same with the parade and the fireworks. No changes there.
No changes in the budget, but we actually didn't spend anything. So, is that true?
Oh, no, those just aren't, we did. We did spend all $7,000 on fireworks and the majority of the parade.
See if I can find it.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay, so, let's see.
yep, sorry, no, I don't have the actuals in there for those 2.
Yeah.
But yes, we did spend all of the fireworks.
Okay.
Split that with sleepers. And then, yeah, the majority of the parade as well.
Yep. Same thing with the boat launch. Did we actually spend the 2,200?
That's the tank.
Yes. Most of that got used for grading the road.
Okay.
And then we'll still have to pay for the dumpster as well.
Okay. And then crankers, did we spend that 1,500 too?
All right, I can't speak to crankers. I'm not sure about that one.
It's just it's a reimbursement for them from the excise tax that comes in from snowmobile registration.
Just a straight pass through.
The town doesn't track their spending, they just.
Gotcha. Got it. Okay.
All right, so now I'll move on to the revenue page.
Yep.
As of this week, the total for recreation revenue is $134,337. We've had $2,290 in rental fees for the Old Town Hall, and the beach this year brought in $33,188. So currently for the year, we're at $169,815. I think by the end of the year, we'll be right around $180,000. That's just based off before and after care, which I think will end up being right around $60,000. So then right there to the right of that chart is a breakdown by recreation, the beach, rec and beach combined, and then rec, Moimadeo, and the Old Town Hall combined. Looking at total appropriated, actual spent well, I didn't update the date, but it's as of this week. And then the revenue offset brought in this year. So recreation has covered 61% of the money spent. Moimadeo has covered, 69% for recreation. I'm looking at 2025. Moimadeo covered 90% of its budget. Together, they've covered 73%. And then with the Old Town Hall thrown in there as well, it's covered 68% of the budget spent. And then I've got projections for next year, comparing it to what I'm budgeting for next year.
So you're expecting another $60,000 in before and after care? Is that just, like, is it based on more kids or,
Yeah,
or
so
an increase?
the revenue right now, December through June was last school year. So we did have less kids last school year compared to the current school year. We have quite a few more kids.
Okay,
So those are based off numbers of kids I have currently for next year.
okay.
And then again, at summer camp, looking at summer camp, 73,000 we brought in this summer. I would add some more kids for next summer.
And to hit both of these additional revenue targets, is that, I mean, you need to have those extra hours to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're expecting all the numbers to go down for 2025? Percentages of revenue? 16.
Where are you looking?
Yeah,
Oh,
outside.
next to them. So I mean,
69 down to 61.
the percentage is based off the actual. So I mean, those percentages, that's based off the proposed budget compared directly to projected revenue.
Yeah, the actual is like 69 and the projected is 61.
Yeah. So the projected expenses are going to outpace the revenue a little bit. That's what that's telling us.
Yeah.
So the actual might be closer to 61 anyway. Is that true? I don't know.
If you're basing it just off what I'm proposing versus projected.
Yeah.
Well, I think, I mean, he's added in a few more things here than just that labor. So it really, the 61% means spending a little more than now for the same revenue, for the.
But are we getting more? So but I'm just wondering if we're increasing our
So I mean,
income.
increasing the income, yes, but I mean, that proposed is based off all my staff being there all the time, spending every dollar in wages. I mean, some of these programs, I wouldn't have the staff there if it didn't warrant the numbers.
Well, and Moimadeo, I believe, at least we always did, if it's raining, nobody goes
Right.
to work.
Right.
Maybe at one, maybe you just have, and
So I mean,
maybe
this,
just
this
have,
summer, some rain days, my staff did work because there was projects to do, something to do, get done down there. But yes,
Yeah.
there was several days that it rained and no one's working.
all right. How this
So
year?
hopefully we don't have a summer like 2 summers ago where it rained all the time.
Right. Because you must have had a lot more income this year than last year.
Yeah.
Because of the weather. I know it's all
Yeah,
based
we
on
were
weather.
$28,377 for 2023. This summer, $33,188.
Yeah.
And so the increase in revenue there, I am going to up the non-resident fee for coming to the beach, the season pass. I haven't made a decision quite yet, but I'm looking at if there's a way to do the daily fee is just $10 per vehicle, So it doesn't matter if there's one person or 10 people in your vehicle, you're getting in for $10. If we can figure out a good way to charge out-of-town people that daily rate, I would do that as well. It just comes down to which way do you have somebody prove they're a resident when they pull up to the gatehouse?
And what do you mean by
Not
out,
have to wait 20 minutes.
what do you mean by out of town?
So somebody from Stanton.
Taxpayer, yeah.
Non-taxpayer.
But they pay, I mean, you're saying they're paying the same as,
Yeah, right now, it's just whether you're from Limington or Standish, wherever, it's $10 a vehicle.
and what are you trying to do?
If there's a good way to do a resident fee and a non-resident
Versus-
fee for the daily pass, I would like to.
Yeah, you just have the season pass.
Right
Resident,
now, the
non-resident.
season pass, yeah, is 50 for resident, 60 for non-resident.
And do you have numbers on how many resident versus non-resident passes you have? I mean, that are purchased?
If you give me just a second, I can tell you.
Because that, I'm just wondering if it makes sense to up the season pass for out of town. I don't know. And you can do the numbers to figure out
Yeah, I think,
which one makes more
I
sense.
think it would be.
So regardless of the numbers, I'd say the answer is yes. If we're paying for the infrastructure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of, it's different factors for the reason, but we had a lot of people from out of town this summer, especially with Dundee Park being closed down in Wyndham.
Right,
There were
right.
lots of people coming from Wyndham.
Yeah.
And there were definitely days, the beach was so busy, like, had I been bringing my family there, I would have turned around and left.
Yeah, there were some days that you couldn't find a parking spot there.
Yeah, and wasn't there something going on with Kokatosi this year too? Did that not operate as much? I don't know.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah,
So you'd have to do what, registration? Based on registration for the car? Being resident or non-resident?
I mean, somebody who's from the town could just buy a town
I know, it's,
card, right?
What do you mean town card?
Pink card means they're a resident kind of thing. It says Limington on it. Could be really low tech, simple. Green, right? If you don't have one of those, you're not a resident.
But those people are probably buying the season passes anyway.
Right.
Like, why would you come to the town hall to go to the beach? On a
So,
Saturday, which you can't go to the town hall?
Yeah, fair point. Yeah, that's a good
initially I
point.
thought, oh, we could just have a sticker. You buy your resident sticker, but then you got two sets of stickers if you got a season pass versus your resident sticker for a day fee, so.
Maybe on their initial visit, they have to show residency, and then you just fill out a card that's color-coded at no charge, so that in the future, when they come back,
Yeah,
they're not doing the
Then they
same
can, yeah.
yes.
If you can't prove it, you pay the out-of-town rate.
Right.
Common fair.
Yeah.
Jake's offering to work at the gate.
We'll volunteer.
Yeah.
We'll have a resident line and a non-resident line, so the residents can flow through.
We offer the season pass, do we sell the season pass down there?
Yes.
So if people come up and it's $10, or can I buy a season pass, because it's,
Yeah,
know,
we have
early
a lot
June.
of people that, they come
Just buy
first
one.
time there, they come in with the daily fee, then they realize, oh, I want a season pass, and we'll switch it out for them.
okay.
Yeah.
Especially if it's June and they're like, I'm gonna be back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as long as they don't have to go back to the town hall, because then you have to wait till during the weekday,
Right. Right.
So if
No,
you
we-
sell
no,
them,
we have
that's-
them right at the gatehouse. Yeah.
I thought
Yep.
that we always did, yeah.
Any other questions there on revenue? All right. So next. Say that again.
Is your revenue year-to-date?
Yes. Yeah, so I'm projecting we'll be right around $180,000 total by the end of the year. Probably more of that once basketball starts, so. My next page, thanks to Emil, Chief Braley, he gave you guys at his presentation a breakdown of the different departments within town and how that affects the mill rate. So I took that and I broke mine down as well. And I have it two different ways on here. One that includes unexpended funds, one that doesn't include unexpended funds. I guess there are positive and negative to either one you look at. Looking at it with unexpended funds, this year, the mill rate just for, and I combined the Old Town Hall, Moy-Madeo, and Recreation, that's all three together on here, is 35 cents per $1,000 value. Next year, with my proposed budget, it would go down to 34 cents per 1,000. Looking at it without unexpended funds. And then with unexpended funds, for the current year, it would have been 22 cents per 1,000. Next year, with my proposed budget, it would go up to 26 cents per 1,000. And then I use the same random tax bills down below and what that actually breaks down to out of their tax bills. Oh, and I do want to mention, again, thanks to Emil, the numbers he presented, looking at the valuation, the total was 689,254, 689,254,336. That included some different exemptions. So what was actually taxable in town is actually 664,717,989. So if you're looking at this top chart, there is an adjustment for the homestead exemption and then the BETE adjustment, which is business equipment tax exemption. And that's broken down by department for the adjustment.
Other questions for Madison?
Not on that. I think you wanted to talk some more about the capital budget, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'll talk about that
Yeah.
next if there's
Yep.
no questions about that breakdown of the mill rate.
Nope, you've got it. Thank you.
All right. So in my capital improvement plan for this year, I do have the work truck that I mentioned earlier, for $25,000. I do want to say that right now, Jason is, who are you working with? Who is it? McFadden. Jason's trying to look into getting some trucks for way less than that. I hope that actually happens. So we don't have to spend that $25,000, but I do want to have it in there if that does not work out. And again, I'm looking for a used work truck, and I'd like to look at auctions. So I would hope it would still be way less than $25,000 to purchase this truck.
And one more time, what are we doing with this truck?
All right, so the biggest
drive
thing,
around
the
town.
direction, what's that?
Just drive
No,
around
moving
town.
stuff, I heard that.
Yeah,
Move-
well,
moving stuff.
I'm constantly moving stuff.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, you currently use your personal,
I use my truck
Vehicle.
all the time, and I rarely put in mileage. I've done it once, and it was just for all the field trips I drove to this summer. I think my budget this year for mileage was $600. I definitely drive way more than that. I have not done a good job at keeping track of all my mileage, but I would say day to day, I'm driving at least 5 to 6 miles in town on a good day. And I'd say it's closer to 14 or 15 miles an hour, 15
Per day.
per day. Thank you. Probably way more of that during the summer because I was driving back and forth between the school and Moimadeo several times a day. But in general, I think the direction I'd like to move the department, we're going to come to a point where I'd like to have a seasonal maintenance person to take care of our different facilities as well.
So will this alleviate your truck being driven around, at least temporarily?
And when I'm in town, yes.
And then
Yep.
eventually it might go to a maintenance person,
Yes.
and then you might need another truck at that point, who knows?
So I'm
But I mean,
still
this will
gonna,
alleviate, this is for you to work between the 3 or 4 different places you go.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So right now, my primary place to store anything is at the Old Town Hall,
Yep.
where most of my programs don't actually happen. They're happening at the school, across the.
Which at least that's local, yeah, I mean, it's very local.
Yeah, yes,
Moimadeo is the far one,
yeah.
right?
Moimadeo, yes, but constantly moving stuff between
Yeah.
the 3.
so
And
like,
yes, I have my personal truck, but I don't think the department would function if I didn't have my personal truck.
Right.
yeah. And then as far as like maintenance and things like that, are these all town-owned properties?
Where I'm going to?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like where you're thinking that we're gonna end up needing to have maintenance done at some
the
point.
Ball fields across the
Seasonal,
street.
seasonal maintenance.
more
They're all
yeah,
town-owned,
yeah,
right?
Yes.
Except for the school right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would, yeah,
But
we
you
don't
don't
maintain.
Just
the
are
school,
those
no.
sort of public, again, sort of, I don't understand the overlap where Public
Yeah.
Works starts and ends versus us hiring somebody else to do that kind of work, I guess.
Yeah, so I think they squeeze it in where they can. I don't want to take away from Sean and his crew
Yeah.
helping me, because they bend over backwards to help me with so much.
Yeah.
So it's just plowing, and what would you be plowing? Just the town hall, the old town hall?
Yeah,
Because you're not plowing out here,
no,
you're not plowing the beach.
no.
You don't even plow for the ice derby, that's someone else, right?
Yeah,
That's the
club
derby,
takes care of that.
fishing
Yeah,
game, whatever.
yeah,
So yeah, you're just plowing the old town hall.
And that would be if it's an emergency, like Sean's crew hasn't been able to get it, and we need.
or if I'm coming into work and they
We're
haven't,
paying somebody a contract price to use a personal truck to plow, things like that.
He just got done. Well, we went, yeah, the guy that's been plowing has just quit. He's done plowing for the town. So we gotta either incorporate this through Public Works or with a couple of.
Oh, the town, old town hall doesn't get plowed out except up for a private contractor? The Public Works does not plow. So what does the Public Works plow? Just roads?
Pretty much, I believe, is that the case? Yeah.
So who does the parking lot? That's a private contractor?
Earl, yeah, Earl, same person.
So we need, okay. So what happens in the future, because he's done working?
No, we just found this out tonight. So,
So we could potentially hire another contractor to do those, right?
possibly.
Or Madison can do it, just like him.
Other duties are assigned, Madison.
Because he's gonna have a plow truck now.
I just.
You might not want that
I'd
plow
like to know
truck.
I can get to the Old Town Hall and park and do my job.
But you have to consider that, because if he needs a vehicle, and then it can also plow, then we're not paying somebody to contract,
Yeah.
contracting somebody to plow and giving him a vehicle, so.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Right.
That he would be doing the town facilities?
You wouldn't
He
be
or
wasting
somebody.
your money contracting somebody to do something where we might already have a vehicle. you know.
Right. It wouldn't necessarily have to be Madison doing the plowing. It could be. It could
Yeah.
be Jake.
Yeah.
Look, Jake's gonna be at the
Okay.
gate checking if somebody's resident, and then he'll start plowing
In the winter?
in the wintertime.
And I'm just, we're just trying to
I didn't know
understand,
that.
like,
Yeah.
how do
No, we
we,
plowed
how
this
do we
one
make
by
the
the
most
private
of our
contractor.
resources without increasing our
I get it, we
expenses
have big
wherever
trucks.
possible? Because people are expressing their concerns about their taxes. So, and it really comes down to two things. We either have to get some business in here to bring in more tax revenue that doesn't stress our existing fire and EMS and school system, et cetera, or we've got to stop our spending. Those are the only two choices. So that's why I'm just asking, sort of trying to understand some of the detail, that's all.
Valid question.
And we don't have enough trucks really to add anything, plow trucks this year to add any.
No,
We're behind,
right,
we
we're
only
behind
have
eight
it
ball
to
there
two.
too, yeah.
What's that?
We only have 2 plow trucks?
No, currently we have 4. We have 2 550s and 2, a wheeler and a single axle.
So I'm just thinking, if we are fully staffed,
We're
fully,
gonna talk with Sean to see if it's something that he can potentially take on, I think.
I mean, what is it? Town hall, old town hall and library?
And the fire department, Coventry, the old fire station,
And all the
Yeah.
hydrants.
and all the hydrants.
The hydrants aren't the fire department or the public works during the day? As far as,
Yeah, that's the plow truck.
so it's not just shoveling,
Right.
you have to plow them,
It's an apron for the truck.
yeah. Okay.
And here's what I'd say too, Madison, submit for your mileage. You should be getting paid for that.
Yeah, well, I guess I didn't plan to drive as much as I end up driving.
That's
Yeah.
why he wants
But
the
that's
truck.
okay. We should find a way to make it easy for you to submit for that.
Once a month. Just
Yeah,
make it easy. 15 miles a day, or whatever.
yeah, yeah. Okay, and then there's $15,000 on here for an RV deck.
Yeah, so down in Mormadeo, our RV host deck it's completely rotted. It's gone now. We've already torn it up and got rid of it because people are falling through it. So it needed to go, and now we need to replace that, which is the biggest piece of that. The other thing is the water system down there is loaded with iron, and it's caking everything. I had to take apart the sinks and the toilets several times to uncake the iron so they would actually flush and
Wow.
run. So, talking to the plumber that's taking care of us down there, I think a water filtration system down there would make a lot of sense to protect the new pavilion bathrooms.
Gotcha.
And is the,
We do have a small, like, residential filter hooked up down there. He put in an iron filter when he opened up the water system this summer. It clogged in 5 days, stopped working, so.
Does it take filters?
Yeah, every 5 days,
Every 5 days it plugs the filter.
yeah.
You got a problem.
Is that a new well or?
yeah, new well.
It is a new well.
It's a
yes.
new well,
Yeah.
okay. I just wonder if some of
And we
it,
do test the water every year. With that filter, when he first put it on there, passed all the tests, it was good, but,
yeah.
It's a new well, but it's a few years old.
yeah.
It's not like
It's,
he
well,
didn't,
yeah,
It's not like a
it's
year
not
old.
brand new.
Oh, okay.
it's not this year, right?
3 years.
I think it's 21.
21?
It should have been done with the septic tank, septic
Okay.
system. I'm pretty sure we put it, I'm sure
I
they put
still
it in
can't believe-
all the same time.
Really?
Because that's the pavilion. What's that?
The leach field.
I'll send you an email tomorrow afternoon, if I remember.
I'll be going down there tomorrow.
Didn't we just replace the deck for the RV host? Or have I been doing this that long that I?
No, the deck is probably original. It might have been someone built it. I don't remember, but,
Maybe we just
We've-
replanked it?
no, we did the
Put
the
new
docks
boards on the
maybe.
Oh,
top,
maybe that
Like
in
the raft, the
places.
floats.
but everything underneath
is all.
was rotted before we tore it up. Got rid of it.
So would the new one be like Trex, like,
Yeah, composite.
I think I only have one quote for this so far. I think it wasn't Trex. I think it was just pressure treated lumber. But that's
yeah.
a good point.
So do we need a deck? Because it's just a camper that's there for security now.
Right.
Yeah.
Assuming it's
that
not
would
gonna
last.
change. But I'm just wondering if you need a deck, because it's just a grassed area.
Most campgrounds don't have it.
Well-
They don't always have a deck.
Right.
Not grass, but
Well, yeah, dirt. but You can plant grass,
yeah.
maybe.
But I mean, at least a concrete pad would last too.
True, very true.
And you could do the whole pad for the camper and everything, so it's gonna be level for the, whoever's coming
I was
in.
gonna say, we would have to raise that area up quite a bit, but.
But then it would be a one and done.
Yep.
Does Public Works
Not
do
have to-
concrete work? I don't know. I really don't.
Or is that, so I don't know how, I haven't been there,
Okay, I don't know.
or do you still have volunteers, like the Boy Scouts, open up camp, mid-May? Like, is that a
They'd
project?
like
So
to.
we used to build docks, we used to build the floats. Is that a project that a bunch of volunteers can build? 15,000 is a lot of labor, I'm guessing, maybe 7,500 in labor. So,
Well, that's water filtration
That's,
too.
yeah.
I bet the
it's
filtration system is
5,000 of that
10.
true.
is
Yeah.
filtration, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But that's something that, you don't have to be an expert carpenter, professional carpenter to build a deck.
Yeah.
So we used to do those every year as volunteers.
Yeah,
I can't fix a truck, but I can help with a deck.
yeah.
So I don't know if you still do the volunteer
Yeah, no, the.
set up,
opening-
clean up,
yeah,
all that.
Yeah, the mid-May opening of the beach, yeah.
So, I mean, maybe you do a couple extra weekends, get one carpenter to help out as a volunteer. Or we pay him, whatever, but then the rest of,
He's volunteering this time, so.
I'll volunteer to put some screws in, for sure.
Can you make sure that the boards are straight, though?
Well,
You're really asking a lot now.
Volunteer carpenters here, and it's like, whatever.
hey, the last one,
To look nice, whatever.
the last one's probably 15 years old, and it did the job, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's wondering if we need it, and then if we do need it, can we save a few $1,000s for volunteers?
Or can we, I hate to say this, but spend a couple thousand more and get something that'll last twice as long,
Even longer.
like the composite or the concrete pad?
What size is it?
16 by 16. Pave it? Pave it?
Leveling, grading, and paving.
Does Public Works do that? That's gonna be. I'm just teasing.
More impervious.
I'm not suggesting, no, I really, I don't know what's in their purview. That's really what I
You've
meant.
got Gary and Jake that are willing to build something, I mean,
I mean, I'd rather put the money in the truck than another deck,
yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
And
So-
then the mower,
And then,
The
yes,
athletic
a
field?
new mower.
So we have one. Are we selling the old one, or do we not have one?
The,
one's
yeah.
dangerous.
And it doesn't really mow. It's great for pulling a trailer around to do the trash, but it does not really mow.
At the beach?
At the beach, yeah. It's great for dragging the beach too. But mower.
So you have to move it around? Do you move it around to get it up here to mow? Or
No,
someone
I mean, right now, Public Works
mows
takes
that?
care of the fields across the street.
And is that gonna change with this new mower? What's the mower for? Because there isn't much for mowing down at the beach, right? It's more like weed whacking.
Not a whole lot, but there's also the boat launch, around the boat launch as well.
The new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. But primarily for across the street at the fields.
So it would be transported down as needed
Yeah,
to the beach?
yeah.
So do you have a trailer and all that?
I have my personal trailer.
Oh, I know, but the town. So if you left today, can the town move the $6,000?
I mean, again, I don't,
Mower.
like, my 6,000 here is based off buying a brand new mower.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of lightly used mowers for way cheaper, and you could probably get a trailer as well.
Other questions?
Let me see. I guess the only question I have on the cap budget is the improvement, the stuff that's in '24. Are we doing those, or have we done those? The athletic
Yes,
fields?
yep, the athletic field is done. The Old Town Hall, I have not spent almost all of it. We still have not spent it, for a couple of reasons. One, in the process of still waiting on whether we have a grant or not for a generator at the Old Town Hall through FEMA, which we would have to pay upfront for, but would get reimbursed through FEMA. The other thing is, I do have several quotes for several different things at the Old Town Hall and did several other grants, and I didn't want to spend that money just in case we got any of them. I have not gotten any others so far. But I would like to use, generator grant aside, I would like to do the stairs. We do not have stairs to the basement currently. I have to walk around the back of the building, use the back door. All my storage is downstairs. I would like to put in stairs to the basement again.
Okay.
But again, I didn't want to just spend that money and not have it, so.
So I hear so much around town about people appreciating what you do and that it adds value to the town. And whether it has shown up yet or not, it seems like, I'm an optimist, it seems likely that good programs bring more people to the town, and that would show up as revenues, as tax revenues down the road, as more people move in to take advantage of after-school programs or recreational programs, all the good stuff that's going on. I hope you saw the Facebook post this week about how big a smile is on somebody's face who goes on Wednesday mornings.
Yes, I did see Donna's post.
That's worth a lot. That's worth a lot.
Thanks, Donna.
I didn't put that in for that reason.
Our coffee social
A lot of
group
people like
is
it.
really fun. It is a great group of people. And it's nonstop laughs.
Yeah.
Not that it's not as nice, but I can tell you from a standpoint from not, I grew up in the district, but not in Limington. And going to school, Limington never had anything. All the other towns, and you come up here and it'd be like half teams.
Oh, we know.
No, that's what I'm saying, and we always go back, so now being a resident since 2008, I'm thrilled that this program is here. Watching my kids grow up, and even when I was in school, Limington just always wanted to be, but just didn't have that structure. I think this is amazing. I'm thrilled with it, and it's just grown so much. You're a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the revenue growth is impressive too.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Question behind it is.
That is good.
Well,
Submit
and
for your
I-
mileage.
Right.
mileage and extra help so that you're not burning out,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
and doing stuff that somebody who's paid at a lower rate can effectively do,
Yep.
like cleanups and stuff. So, thank you.
Thank you all.
Other
don't-
questions?
You don't have to clean the bathroom anymore. You're all
I'm
set.
trying not to.
I got help for that.
Any other questions before we turn him loose?
Appreciate the detail too on this. You know, clearly you put a lot of work into it. Thank you.
I'm going to be so thankful not to look at this for a few days.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are we all clear about meeting dates for the rest of the year? Everybody get the email sent yesterday?
So
I have the next three, right?
the
So
15th, the 7th, and the 21st, the 11/14 follow-up, that's out?
Yeah. I
Because
can,
we're voting on the 21st.
Should be.
That's what we talked about.
Should be.
That's what we talked about in August. Yeah. So the 14th, we don't need,
okay.
okay.
So we don't need the
And then
14th.
12/5, we have 12/5 for something, I'm not sure.
12,
Yeah.
12-5,
I think we were just
12-12.
putting some time aside in case
Right.
we needed it, yeah.
But
Okay,
I think we'll know exactly where we are
so Tuesday.
by the 21st,
So 10:15,
next Tuesday.
11:07, 11:21,
21,
Yes.
yeah.
and then 12.
I
Maybe.
think we have a placeholder on
12:05.
12:05, yep. In case. we-
12-5 and 12-12. But
If needed.
I would expect when we meet, if that happens on the 21st of November, when we meet with the select board, we'll know exactly where we are and we'll know what we have left to do.
Yeah, so I guess, I'm not sure, like, on the 21st, are we making a recommendation to the select board, or, I'm not sure what happens. Or do they say, hey, here's what we're thinking? Who leads that?
Well, after the select board presents you with the rest of the municipal budget that the select board is responsible for, at that point, the financial advisory committee will vote on the approval of those budgets, and then the select board will also give their vote for the approval of those budgets,
Okay, for all of them.
for all of them.
Okay, so the select board will be looking at these and saying, here's what we think, and then the finance committee offers
Yep.
their opinion.
Yep, and
Okay.
and those two recommendations, or, for each board will be put into the town
The town-
report.
Yes,
Yep.
yeah, okay. I just wasn't sure who was sort of presenting first, I guess, that's all. Okay.
And then the rest of our task is to go over the capital improvement budget, add to that 5-year projection, so that that can be included in the book for the town meeting.
Yeah,
So when does that
we'll,
happen?
we'll vote, the
5th,
board
12th,
December.
whatever.
will vote on what we want for capital improvements.
Right. So I think we do need to know, I don't think we know what's in the account currently.
$1.1 million, give or take, like $40,000.
Okay.
So I think it's like 1.146.
Okay.
And how much of that is, I know it can't be allocated, but like,
Already approved,
yeah.
Yeah, how much of
but
that,
not,
yeah.
but not bought?
Yeah.
Not spent.
I'm sorry, what was that?
So how much of that 1.1 has been allocated for something but not paid for?
I think everything that was allocated for this year has been paid for.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain. I mean, email, Madison?
Out of the old town hall, 20,000.
All right, so
Right.
20,000 is slated for the Old Town Hall
I
email.
think, once ventilation is complete, which I think all that's left is an electrician,
Yep,
I think everything that was approved from 2024 will have been spent.
yep,
But you have articles that have balances from previous years.
right.
So,
And what happens with the money that was voted on for previous warrants, but the money hasn't been spent?
It's still there slated for those items. It's just they haven't been,
at some point,
Allocated.
there's gonna have to be a warrant for the people to vote to rescind those allocations.
So can we, obviously, in December or whenever we start talking about the capital improvement, it would be good to know what has been voted on for the warrants but not spent. So that
Okay.
we could potentially make a recommendation for that money to be pulled back.
yep, rescinded. Yep. Yeah, we can do that. We can, well, I'll send an email to all the departments and see what they still got left, to buy with capital improvements, and either, do it or it's going back into the,
Into the
Yeah.
committee.
yeah.
And then I just have a process question too. So, I'm gonna just pick a number. Let's say a department's been approved for $700,000 this year and they spend $650,000. Does that $50,000 go into that fund at the end of the year?
If they underspent on a particular item for capital improvements, then that money would go back into the Yep.
Okay, that's just capital improvements. I was asking, like, if somebody underspends
From their
operating-
budget?
Operating budget,
General,
yeah.
General treasury.
That just, there's a general fund
It's an
as
offset
well,
for
right?
next. it's an
Yeah,
offset
it would,
for next
it would
year.
offset the next budget.
Okay.
It stays in the,
And there's
Yeah.
quite a bit that does offset the next
Out
budget.
of the 500,000 that got voted this year, over 400,000 of that was stuff that came back from last year's surplus. The offset.
that's what I'm saying, all these budgets are kind of inflated. And maybe there's a reason for that, but it's not a lot of the budgets don't seem to be all that tight. So we end up spending, putting $400,000 towards the next budget cycle.
Okay.
It's just an offset.
It's the offset that we use for that in between.
To
3
fund
months,
the first 3 months.
2 months, 3 months, whatever.
The first 3 months of the year are essentially we base what is spent in those first 3 months on the prior year's budget.
Right.
We were approved for the,
Until town meeting.
right.
It's this amount right here,
Okay, so that's,
So we have
That's
to
what
have
I'm
inflated
asking. So there's-
budgets.
offset amount.
so there's 1 point,
Or-
about 1, oh, I'm
We
sorry.
have no money.
Get a loan.
Right.
So last year there was
So
about
we can't do a-
1.6 million in that offset account. I guess that's what I was asking is, what's that balance of that account?
The,
How much is in the
Off-
general fund right now?
The general fund.
I
okay.
don't know what's in the general
That's
fund
the
right now.
treasurer's report.
Yeah, that's a treasurer's report.
Okay, that would be good to know too.
So if we discuss capital improvements in December, what happens? We don't, select board and us don't vote on that until some later day when we do the article?
No, well, when we know what the different departments are requesting for capital improvements, we will vote on those as well.
But we're talking about capital improvement is December meetings, correct? Discussion during December meetings.
Yeah,
So November 21st, we won't be voting on something we haven't talked
On
about.
capital, right.
Right.
no.
We would,
Right.
that,
So we have
that-
another
that-
meeting-
that would be for the December 5th.
Yeah,
I mean, we could talk about it and vote on it at the November 21st meeting. That can be done. You will have seen everybody's budget. They will have presented you with their request for capital improvements. We could vote on, whether or not we recommend those things at that November meeting. There's nothing that says we can't, especially if we
So we'll
want to
just-
just get it out of the way.
Right, so we may not have to discuss it unless with, just that day with the select board, if we have
Right.
Yeah,
time.
if it's ready, yeah.
That's the question, is,
Is it ready?
will there be enough time at that meeting
For
to generate
do
a
everything.
5-year plan?
I don't have the numbers for the part of the budget that we're responsible for. I can tell you that the select board doesn't want to spend any more than we absolutely have to. Of course, there are some caveats to that. The staff in the office, they've been underpaid for a long time. We want to make sure that, they get a proper adjustment to their pay that's warranted for the position of responsibility and care that they have. We also need to allocate money for the reevaluation that has to happen. And we're talking about like $325,000, I think, is what that one is. And then there's the town manager position. The select board hasn't solidified its position on how much we want to pay this individual. Baseline number, 100,000, but being that they wouldn't be able to be hired until after the town meeting, we're only talking about 75% of that. Maybe even less if they don't come on board until April or May.
Right.
Yeah. But those will be the biggest changes to the budget that we are responsible for.
This I'm just asking you guys. I'm just curious on two things. Why is it being moved up in December where we used to do this in January? Why is it moved up so quick? It doesn't seem like it gives you guys really enough time to really discuss it, because this all used to take place in January. And secondly, is there a process for proofreading and double checking what's gonna be printed in the budget, into the town report, to where there's so many mistakes last year? Is there a process to double, triple check things?
Yep. Yep. So, to answer your first question, we're trying to get this done in December as opposed to January because it takes time to get that, to the publishers to print the town report. And I forgot what the second.
And is there time for proofreading? Yeah.
The proofreading.
Well, that's why we want to do
And
it
that's why we
early.
want to do it in December.
That's why we wanna do it early.
Yeah.
Which is fine, that's
So-
fine, as long as there's enough time. I mean, I was printing for 20
Right.
years, so I know how it works. But
So
I
if we
just want to
s-
make sure you go back and forth and we actually have a process.
Right. So because we're trying to get this done in December, that gives us some time to proofread and get it to the printing company to have an accurate town report. And yes, there were a lot of mistakes in last year's budget. We were down a selectman until November, and
Okay, just as long as you
Yeah.
guys are, there is a process so that we can.
the select board is trying to approach this with the utmost care that we could possibly have for this, especially considering the mistakes that were made last year.
I have a question. There are towns that are going without a printed town report book, and strictly online. Has that been given any thought in Limington? And how much does it cost to print the town reports?
I don't have that number for you. The town has not looked into doing a strictly online
Don't mail
report.
anymore, so that's
I
good.
think it's not something that we've been discussed, but if it was discussed, I imagine the biggest point to be made was that a lot of the individuals in town are not internet, computer savvy, and would see us not printing the town report as almost like making the town report less accessible.
You could print half,
But
because most people under 40 can,
Of course,
but then it's hard, because then you
of
gotta
course,
get your phone.
Donna, you
Right.
do
During
make
the meeting,
a
this
good
is nice
point,
to flip through.
and the select board will at least look into the idea of having an online version
I
available for the
think
folks.
Agreed.
Buxton goes with that report.
Yeah.
They do, or they don't have
They have a fancy gloss coated, very nice kind of.
I mean, I think you'd want
but
to
there, but I,
have both, like add the
Right.
internet part for a few years.
Right,
See
right.
if that goes well.
Yeah, if people get used to that, if people like that, maybe we can eventually go paperless completely.
Or
but-
go half, print
I was gonna say,
half.
how many of these do we have left over at the end of the year?
Well, right now, there's none.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've all gone. I was asking about that a couple of weeks ago,
I'm just
because,
wondering if
Yeah.
you had an online option
right,
and
then,
have,
If you did, I can tell you probably have a very upset crowd, because if you look out and watch how many pens are going on every single page, notes. and
oh, absolutely.
Nobody's gonna be able to print that in an order that they can follow the town meeting.
Right,
Mm.
right.
it would be nice if it was online though as
You
well,
just have to have
because
a
I do
budget
think
meeting.
you may get more engagement from more people in town
Well-
if it's online.
we'll see if there's potential to add it to maybe the town website or something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is a good
that's
idea. It's
the
a good
appropriate
idea.
place for it, yeah.
Yep.
Jason, you had a question?
State your name, please.
Jason Smith, Moore Lane. Is there a process, and I may be missing it, is there a process in which you folks give open feedback to the select board before they come with their recommendations for the warrant?
Oh, yeah.
Because you guys are, been watching the meetings and you listen to the presentations and then you close your meeting. I was just wondering if there's a process in which you're having a conversation with the select board saying, this is what I think we can do. They're sharing their thoughts with you, kind of that open communication. I was just wondering if there was a time for that, because it sounds like you're getting presentations up to a vote.
I think that's what I would anticipate happening on November 21st.
The 21st is when that's like our workshop.
Yeah. So,
So at that point, you won't be voting on it. You'll be giving feedback back to them, and then they come to you with a final budget at some point?
it's kind of fluid.
If it needs to be changed, I would assume we would then
Yes.
talk and then come back, meet with them, and then change it, but if we're all on the same path, then we can vote on it at that point.
Because I'm just seeing that there's a disconnect between what you might be listening to, and then the three of them go off and they
Right,
put all the numbers together without any feedback from you.
yeah.
Like, we're not voting on the actual articles that day. When do we vote on the actual articles?
So last year you voted
It was
without
like,
articles, and I think that was part of the problem, sort of. The articles weren't written when you voted on the budget, and then they got put into articles. So, yeah, there's.
Yeah,
I think we would
We
need,
voted on the budget, but we did not, and we voted on the capital improvement budget, but then, you're right, the.
not
book-
the articles.
Right.
yeah, we didn't see the final warrants, you're
Yeah,
right.
we need to-
We were voting in, based on the concepts and the numbers, but then a few things changed, and then we didn't see the warrants, and so that's where there was a miss, I
I
think.
mean, it's been at
So
least
that's
2
part
years
of
since
why
we
we're
got-
doing things so
My vote
much
did not
earlier
go
this
up 2
year,
years ago.
because we
Right.
don't have a really exact process. But we know last year there were problems. There was $400,000 recommended to purchase a used fire truck,
One of the.
which, Select Board approved, Financial Advisory Committee approved, and it vanished into thin air before the book got printed.
Right,
And so we're trying to do it more carefully this year.
yeah, but as, aside from like the whole budget and voting on it, I was just wondering if there was a time for that feedback,
You don't have to reinvent the wheel, it's been spinning for decades. All you have to do is look back 3 years and go through that process.
It could be that when I was the chairman of this board, the discussions went on way too long, but I understand that.
So that's why I was asking about the 21st.
But-
Does the select board tell us what they're thinking, or like, who goes first?
Well, and that's the thing, is that they're gonna come to you with their proposal, right?
Right.
Of the whole budget.
Right.
Right.
Or at least that's what I've seen in the past, is that they're gonna come to you with their proposal for the whole budget, and you have had no opportunity to say, this is what we think,
Well,
and
I
then
think
let
that-
them go back and work on it, and then come with their full budget.
Yeah.
No,
Because
that's a
I'd
good
hate to see that,
perspective.
not that they're gonna take all of your recommendations, but I would just like to see that process be a little bit more involved with some back and forth between you folks and the selectmen.
The 21st will be for that.
Yeah, it'll
So
be a
maybe
working
that's not
session.
the
21st is.
Right, it sounds to me like the
21st is
vote's
working
probably
out.
gonna be on
Right.
like the 12/5 or the following week.
Votes will probably take place on 12/5, because
So it sounds like the 21st is gonna be more of a workshop, meeting of the minds, and then they present you with a completed budget at
On
some
the
point.
fifth.
then.
Yes.
Okay. And then I just wanted to, listening here tonight, I just wanted to clarify that there's a difference between voting on what to spend in the upcoming year for capital versus putting things on the plan for the future. It seemed like there was a little bit, I think that's what you were doing after you voted last year, is you were kind of creating that 5-year plan, but you.
No,
had
we
already
did that
voted on it.
before
you
we
had?
voted. But I think the process is, I know the process is, the specific things for this 2025 are in the book.
Yes.
Specific warrants. What we recommend in a 5-year plan can change year to year.
Sure, you can
We're just looking ahead,
change next month. Sure.
guessing.
Right.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
best guess is we need this much for 2028 or whatever.
So, I guess knowing that, and because he's here and it's fresh in his mind, I didn't know if you, because you kind of glossed over his 5 years. Like you looked at next year, but you've got an opportunity to look at his next, I don't want to extend this anymore, but there were some questions that I had, I know, going forward for the next 5 years, but
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Well,
If
the
you
Old
guys
Town-
understood all that,
The
or-
Old Town Hall stuff that really hasn't changed from last year. Eh,
Hey there.
Yeah, there may be an updated version of that. We have one from a year ago, and it may need to be updated.
So you know what all the numbers in his 5-year plan are?
Yeah,
These are pretty much what he had from last year's.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. The truck is new in the Mamadou.
But it's within the same, well, no, it's 6,000 more.
Yeah, it's $6,000, because I think he had 40,000 per year.
Yeah,
Because there were some projections, like a $40,000 number in there and a $20,000.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you guys are good with it.
Yeah.
I'm not up there yet.
any other questions from the public? Shall we adjourn?
Yes.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?